In this section, we will cover all the text functions that are available within DAX. As you can see, there is a list available for you on the screen. While not an extensive list, we are aiming to really cover some of these that are going to be the most useful or common on your workdays. For those that we will not be able to cover, feel free to use the DAX reference online maintained by Microsoft. It goes deeper and gives you plenty of examples. That said, we are going to be creating, through a demo, a small solution in a Power Pivot workbook that you can build upon so that you can take your skills to the next level. That said, let's go ahead and look into the demo. Let's go ahead and open Excel, open the blank workbook, and as usual, head into Power Pivot, the Manage ribbon button, and this time we're going to get from data service, our OData feed. The same procedures as before, just a different way of approaching it. We're going to choose a Northwind OData source. We're going to test it, click OK, and next. We're going to be looking for the employees table and clicking the Finish button. We click the Close button, and we can see that we have the information already imported into our data model. It is there already. So we're going to go and start adding some columns. First thing we're going to do is add a freeze in here. We're going to go to Design and click on the freeze. This will at least give us a little reminder of what our name is. We're going to scroll to the far right and going to create a column. The column is going to be containing the columns which are title, first name, and last name. So we're going to just create one single column containing the first name that we see here, last name, and the title. For that, we're going to be just concatenating. And that is easily done by choosing the first column, tabbing off of it, ampersand, adding a space, once again ampersand, and the next column. In this case, first name. Once more, we use the space, and last name. We click Enter here. Notice, we have been successful here. Let's indicate the name for this column. Let's call it full title and employee name. Great. So far, we noticed that it does match what we're looking for. We can scroll over there and see all to the left that we are successful so far. The next thing we want to do is we want to test that concatenate function. So we still have another column that we can create. And we're going to create it by using that concatenate function, the newly used column we created, along with the title that is available for this resource. We complete the statement and we scroll to the right once again. Notice that we have the full name now and we have a dash in between before the title that each one of these represent. Let's make sure we name the column appropriately. Full employee name and title. Great. One function that comes in handy to determine how many characters any of these columns may contain is len. L-E-N. To that effect, we're going to apply to the full name and title column we just created. And choose it correctly. Close the statement. And notice it gives us the exact numbers that we were looking for. We're going to go ahead and name it as well. Length of employee name and title. So what we're doing here is just concatenating all these columns that were not available there for you before. they were well available within the data model, but they were not easily added. And the reasoning behind it, we will see once we go into the Power Pivot table and add them. You will see what I mean. The next step is sometimes we need uppercases for certain columns. So we want to convert the full employee name and title to an uppercase. One of the functions within text is upper. Notice it'll convert a text string to all uppercase letters. So we just need to choose the right column, which is we just created right now, and apply it. Notice that it is fully converted. Once more, as a good practice, just name appropriately that column. Upper full employee name and title. One other common practice or procedure that happens is replacing text. Where could we want to reduce some text or replace it within our columns themselves? Vice President. Let's say maybe it's a little bit longer and we would like to reduce it just a bit. For that, we would have to use another function. One of those functions that seems to lend itself for this purpose is substitute. Substitute column retrieves parameters. Among those parameters is the text, the current one, the old text, and the new text we want to replace, and how many times. So let's go ahead and use the upper column. We're going to be looking for the title Vice President and going to be replacing it with VP for just one repetition that it might occur. Let's click enter. There we go. Notice that here it's still Vice President and here it is VP. Let's name the column appropriately. Substituted title upper full name, full employee name and title. Great. We have all the columns we created right now. They're calculated columns, remember that. So let's head back into our workbook and add a pivot table. We'll choose our external data source that we already have, and we're going to create a new worksheet. We have our employees available, and let's just add the first name and last name. This is what I was referring to when we were creating these columns. That's the main reason for concatenating them or joining them together, because they will not be represented as one single column itself. But since we already went ahead and did that, let's head down to where we created these columns. We could either use the full employee name with a title or of courtesy. We could use the title courtesy, first, last name, and its title itself, or we could use the upper one. Even there, better yet, we could use even the substituted one. Notice, that's leveraging those text functions. That's where they come in handy and useful in everyday work procedures or statements that you might end up utilizing them to massage your data.